Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are well, in the midst of health, in the midst of states, as we carry on this pursuit for meaning. Honestly speaking, it's been a really rough time for me. Like just watching whatever's going online and the videos that is coming out, the deaths, the hypocrisy, and the ongoing escalation is it's just mind-boggling for me. And it got really tough, especially just having the mental fortitude and the emotional fortitude to scroll online and all you see is deaths and murder of children, innocent people, and the disgusting rhetoric that is going on. Um, that's why it's been a while since I recorded the video, but as promised, I finally pieced it up together. And this video is basically a compilation of many conversations I had during my Melbourne rally. There were many more, unfortunately, because of my uh, because I didn't check properly. My microphone was off, so this is the only I had like many more videos, and this was the only videos that made survived the failures on my side to record. Apologize for the bad audio quality, and I look for a better microphone that could record better quality videos when I go outside in the streets. But this is what I got. I hope you guys enjoy it. And basically, all of this revolves around the perspective of different people on the ground and what they think and what they feel and how we should be able to interact with those kind of perspectives and how we should be able to give them our perspectives. I haven't shared with you guys my much of my rebuttal and much of my perspective. I just want to share with you guys what are the prevailing perspective on the ground, and for you to understand how to navigate conversations with people who are on the fence or with different people that you face in your everyday life. Alright, guys. Till the next one. Assalamu alaikum.
What do you think about this value and why are you here?
I think it's a it's a mess. It goes back thousands of years.
How thousands of years? Can you share with me?
Okay, the Jews were driven out of Jerusalem and Israel back about shortly after Jesus Christ came into the world, about the time of the Romans.
We're done by the Romans.
Yeah,
I'm here to support my friends who are supporting Palestine. It means to me that it's an opportunity to for people to express their opinion. I think conversation is really important.
Yeah.
And I think the first principles of anti-violence got to come before the complications of money, finance, and alliances. And I haven't got a distinct voice myself, but I feel like I'm in the right place here with this.
I think when you look at the reality of the state of Israel and what they're doing to innocent people in Gaza who have done nothing wrong, how could you not? There's shared humanity there of suffering, and I think that's calls upon anyone really. If you think. Well, I am from a Palestinian background. My grandparents are Palestinian. Yeah. And I mean, what's happening is not okay, and I think we should do what we can. And if that means just coming and protesting and raising awareness, then I'm going to do what I can.
I've got no idea about any of it.
Really? So have you watched the news and not really? So what do you know about it?
I don't know much about it at all. I know is that Gaza, what's that group called?
Israel.
No, Hamas.
Yeah.
Bombed, and then Israel retaliated, and it's about the rest of it.
Yeah, I know a bit about it, but I'm not very focused on that.
Yeah. What do you know about it and what do you feel about it?
I think peoples from Palestine are a bit. We need to pay much more attention on them. I think, and I think Palestine people should be protected.
Not a whole lot. I'm not as informed as most people, but it definitely seems, well, it's horrific for
for lack of a better word.
Palestinians have lived on that land for generations. They've been driven off the land. The whole issue is a matter of injustice. There was injustice done to the Jews. There's injustice done to the Palestinians. And how do you find a peaceful solution? I admit to being Christian, and I believe that what Jesus said about loving your enemies and doing good to those who hate you and all that, if both sides were to adopt that attitude and work for the good of each other and love one another, then there would be hope for a settlement in the place. But
I also, can't see any justice or, I don't. You can't kill people and say that there's any justice. It doesn't matter if it's revenge. It doesn't matter if it's, um, you're always going to be. You're always going to create someone who resents you for that. There's family of everyone. There's family of Israelis. There's family of Palestinians who will remember this day and remember these times that we're living in. I think I want an anti-violence message more than anything. I know that's not what everyone thinks. Some people feel like it's justified to strike back at Israel, or even people think it's right to strike back at Hamas.
When they say that this event started from 7th of October, what do you say about that?
I think it started when Israel began colonizing Palestine in 1948, and this is an extension of that.
And so when people say it started from 7th October is bullshit.
I think you can see that this particular event kind of happened on that date, but there's a long, long history of colonial oppression there and violence towards Palestinian people.
I think it's a bit unfair. I think that the Israel-Palestine conflict has been going on for so much longer than this little bout in the Gaza Strip. So it's unjust, really, to kind of put it on Palestine and say that they started it with these Hamas attacks.
When you say Jesus love your enemy,
Yeah.
how do you expect the Palestinians who has been massacred since 1975, 1948, and prior to 1948, have been mown the lawn as they go?
Yeah.
How should they express love thy enemy?
that's a difficult question, in that the Palestinians obviously have a right to defend themselves from the actions of the Israeli military that just go and bomb indiscriminately, that starve them to death. That should never happen. And I don't expect anyone to lay down.
It's very interesting because me, like a man, as a father, I will show yourself as a grandfather father as well.
Yeah.
Would you ever allow some foreigners from across the land massacre and kill your family? Wouldn't it be a religious thing to do, a godly thing to do to protect your loved ones?
There is definitely a right to protect your loved ones. And the Palestinians, I believe, have a right to protect their loved ones. You say a grandfather like me. I'm aware that Palestinian refugees were made refugees in 1948. So there are probably people my age living in those refugee camps who now are living there with their grandchildren and maybe great-grandchildren, and they see no hope for them, no future. I mean, that is soul-destroying. That's criminal.
Personally, I think I'd try my best to get out, but having seen what happens when people have been trying to leave the Gaza Strip, I guess all I really would do is try and hide, stay in touch with the people that I love, make sure that they're not doing well, but doing as well as they can be, given the horrific situation that they're in.
What happened to them that they need protection?
Sorry, these things I'm not know more about that. I am not the stance on it, but I think the people from Palestine they should be paying much more attention on that.
Do you think that there's a resentment from the Jewish community about Zionists? I don't want to say the wrong thing, but the memory from World War II. Do you think that they have there is a resent. Yeah, I feel like it's anger that may have wanted to be directed to maybe Hitler or maybe Europeans, and I think maybe this anger is being directed towards someone who is impoverished to the point where they can't defend themselves, similar to the way the Jewish were in. So I think there's a lot of unfortunate irony.
I think that's really complex, but I think that land back and for Palestinians to be able to live in freedom and peace and to express themselves and live a kind of life that Israeli people are living on Palestinian land.
Israel have to face up to the fact that what they have created, and knowing some of the history of the place, that Israel was a state formed by terrorism and dispossession. Having been formed that way and still carrying on that it can treat the Palestinians that way is, for me, the first sense really must come from Israel to say, look, we're not going to do this. We want to change the way we, what's the word, relate to these, to the Palestinians. If they do that, then the Palestinians, I think, there's a thing called forgiveness and saying, okay, the past is the past. I mean, if you look at
Well, I guess more than anything, I'm just looking forward to a resolution, and I hope that it comes sooner rather than later. Because I saw something the other day about the death toll. I think it's just hit 17,000, which is an absurd amount of people. And if we can have a ceasefire sooner rather than later, it stops that number from climbing.
Do you think that part of this is racism?
the experience of Australia, in my own family, I have family members that aren't here because they died because of Japanese atrocities. But we have learned to move on and say, okay, that's behind us. We will now seek to build friendships with the Japanese. And I would think that's how it needs to go with the Arabs and the Palestinians. Oh, no, not the Israel and the Palestinians. There needs to be a time that we draw a line in the sand and say, okay, enough's enough. And for Israel, I mean, like, I've just got to switch this off. For Israel, much like happened after the war, where the West, America, and that helped redevelop Japan after the devastation of the war and help their economy, I think there would be a real need for Israel to okay, we are really going to spend our time and effort and resources in rebuilding infrastructure in Palestine. They need to grant Palestinians equal citizenship with Israelis, free movement of people, and stop, what's the word?
Apartheid.
Yeah, the apartheid and the, what do they call it? The occupied territories or whatever, where the territories that were originally allocated to the Palestinians, they stopped moving in and taking over those places and all that sort of stuff.